everyone, thank you for joining me again. So I recently showed you my vintage classic Airfix builds. I showed you over two videos my matchbox builds that I have on the shelf. So this category is my World War One era builds, which covers various companies. So the first one I wanted to show you was the Airfix Mark IV female, which I did show as part of the Vintage Classic video, but I thought it would be a good place to start. This is obviously from Airfix 176 scale. I quite like the look of it now. It's growing on me, whereas before I was a bit I didn't do a diorama for this one. I just used the dio that I'd done for one of the Whippet tanks. So that's the first one. So this one is the Masterbox 172nd scale and Mark IV female tank. Some really nice detail on this kit, and I finished it in the desert colours. Again, no diorama for this one. So another kit from Masterbox. This is the Mark IV, I think, male tank. And again, I think this is finished in the desert colours. I'm pretty sure that's why I put the sand wash all over it. Again, nice kit to put together. We had a lot of fun doing this one. Although technically not World War One, this is a 1920 pattern Rolls-Royce armoured car, but I thought I'd include it. This was a bugger to put together. This is a Roden kit, 172nd, and as I showed on my possible builds for the current military wheeled vehicles group build, I've got another one that I can do. But if you can persevere with it, I think this looks a cracking kit. I really do. Roden do this in 135th, and it's what can I say? It's one of those kits that's always calling to me, but I just don't want to do 135th. I just don't want to go down that route. So I'm happy to stick with my 172nd, 176 stuff. So another Roden kit, 172nd. This is the old Bill bus. Now I think they do this in 135th as well. They may do it as a civil marking vehicle, although I may be getting confused with Airfix because they did do one as well. This again was another very trying kit to put together. On my video you can see where I realised I made mistakes in the construction and had to rectify things, but again, once finished, although they're on my shelf, I don't see them very often. So when I get them out and look at them, I think to myself, you know what, that don't look too bad at all. And yeah, that's the same for this kit. So this is the first of my builds where I actually set them on a diorama. This is the Austin Mark III from Masterbox 172nd. The figure is from, I think it might be Emhar, 172nd British infantry officer. The setting for this, when I did the video on my channel, was for Ireland, not for France. And I've got a second one of these to build, so I'll probably build it as a different, when I do get around to building it, build it as a different vehicle. But there was a lot of fun with this one. Masterbox, so it was a bit easier to put together than the Roden stuff, and the diorama worked well. If I just turn the diorama around, you can see I actually put some flowers on this. So there you can see a bit of difference in the foliage, and the other thing that I did quite a bit on this one was some chipping, which was a lot of fun. So the next is the 172nd Emhar Whippet tank, which is just a great kit to put together. Really enjoyed this. In fact, you will see that I've done two of these. and this diorama was created for this, although I've used it to show off other builds like the Airfix Mark IV female tank. You may recall that I bought some very cheap boxes from a local hobby shop, and this is one of the lids off it, so it was an oval shape, and I just thought it'd be something a bit different, gives a bit of height as well. I've still got, I think, the actual box part of it. This is the lid section, the box part of it to use for other dioramas. So again, just some really good fun putting this together, and I think it turned out well. Okay, you may recall this one, something a bit different, focusing really on the futility of war. These figures are from 3D scale, I think they are. They do them in 1/76 and 1/72, so I just had an idea to do a field dressing station, because, as I say, I just wanted to do something a bit different. All the sandbags were handmade, not hand stitched. It initially was a fun project, but then the sandbags were getting on my fruit a bit, so that's that one. Not sure when I did this one. I got an idea that it was early this year or late last year. I could be wrong. This was for the artillery group build that Joachim and Marcus was running, so again it was over the 3 months where they tend to run them. The field howitzer is from, I want to say, Roden. If you remember, I had a lot of fun taking the heads off some British artillery figures and replacing them with Aussie, like the forage cap or whatever, forage hat. This was just something I wanted to do to commemorate the fact that the Commonwealth were supporting British forces and were doing their bit. Quite often people forget that it wasn't just British forces that were trying to stop the German onslaught in Europe during World War One. It was also young men from various parts of the Commonwealth who signed up and helped to achieve that as well. Many of them losing their lives in doing so. So I wanted to do something in honour of them. So this is possibly my favourite diorama. I wanted to portray the old with the new, and basically the astonishment on this chap's face when he saw this behemoth, the new weapon for the German army. You can't quite see, I'll just turn it a bit. So we've also got here some figures, and again we've got an older chap and a younger chap here, and again telling the story that this younger chap is either having a laugh with the old guy or is consoling the old guy, possibly because obviously we're towards the end of the war and all that they tried to achieve was just falling apart, and his country was in ruins basically. So for me there's a lot of expression of various things. Painting up the wagon and the horses and the figures was just I just had to take my time over it because those little details can help a lot. Okay, so just 2 dioramas left, and then 1 more figure. So this is a build I think I did for commemorate Armistice Day. Was it last year or the year before? This is Emhar's 1/72 tadpole. I just thought it was a really interesting kit to build, an unusual kit, and then I found out after I built it that only one of these vehicles saw action. There was loads of parts to be put on the Mark IVs. I think that they were going to create tadpoles from the Mark IVs actually in the field, but only one saw action. An interesting diorama. This is basically polystyrene that's been picked out to create craters, and then the flocking on here was stuff that Greg Riley gave me. I think it's like orchid fertilizer or something, or orchid soil, a lot of it, and then it's just kind of painted with watered down browns just to get that look. Again, tried to paint the figures as well as I could, just to add to the detail. So this is my biggest existing diorama. This has got the Emhar 1/72 whippet on it, and it's also got the Roden 1/72 four-wheel drive truck. Unfortunately, one of the figures has broken off the base. He was stood around here somewhere, basically telling this guy to move forward, I think, to get the truck. You may recall from the video I did of this scene that this is from Ireland, from Dublin, the River Liffey, I think it is, where some tobacco had been dumped in the River Liffey, and the British troops were tasked with retrieving the tobacco from it. What happened was, just to recount the story, the truck went down onto the shore and basically got bogged down in the mud, so they had to get a tank to come down and pull it out of the mud. The stones on this, as I say, there is a video on my channel. The stonework on this is all railway scenery. It's like sheets of plastic, so that's just attached to some balsa wood, and then I painted it up and painted the blocks individually, which was a lot of fun. And this stuff at the top here, there's a road running across the top where people were watching this take place. This is, I think, all balsa wood on the top of here as well. A lot of fun doing this, obviously building the two kits, painting up the figures and doing the diorama. It was at a time when I had a vision of what I wanted to do, and you know, just took my time about accomplishing it, which is not with me at present. So on to the last World War I period build. So here it is, the only plane, I think it's the only World War I plane that I have got left. At one stage I had about 3 Fokker triplanes, 3 Fokker D8s. I had some British planes and an RE8. I had quite a few, and they were all in a box up in the loft, and of course, as I keep explaining, my loft is in such a mess with all the bloody kits I've got up there that the box tipped over and basically they got crushed. So I haven't got them anymore. So this is the only survivor. Don't ask me why it wasn't in the box with the rest of them, but it wasn't. I can't even remember what company produces this. It's 1/72. I want to say it's Revel, but I could be wrong. So as you can see, I did the rigging on it as well. Unfortunately, one of the pieces has come away from this strut, so I need to try and get it back up there. But this was built, I don't know, bloody 15 years ago, something like that. Again, at a time when I had more patience. Right guys, so that's it. Nearly 20 minutes I think on this particular video. I am sorry about that, but I hope you like the builds. I'm certainly proud of, well, most of them, to be honest. The memory of trying to build some of them and then the end result of some of them as well, it's possibly some of my best work here. Thanks for watching, look after yourselves, and I'll catch up with you soon.